Namaste and welcome back to today's episode of Mahabharata Matters. In the previous episode, we saw the 12th day had ended with Arjuna killing Bhagadatta and his grand elephant Supratika. Duryodhana was very unhappy with his guru Drona, so Drona promised him a memorable event in the battlefield the next day. When the 13th day of the battle began, as planned, Susharma of the Trigarthas challenged Arjuna. Having no choice, Krishna and Arjuna went to the south side of the battlefield to take on the challenge. As soon as Krishna and Arjuna left, Dronacharya arranged his army in a Chakravyuha, also known as a Padmavyuha. This formation looked like a spinning wheel or a blooming lotus with many layers like the petals of a lotus. This was an impregnable formation and Duryodhana would be placed at the heart of it. The innermost layer of the Vyuha would be guarded by Radheya, Shakuni, Dushyasana, Kritavarma, Kripa, etc. The next layer would be guarded by Jayadratha, the brother-in-law of Duryodhana. He was the husband of Dushala, Duryodhana's sister. Drona, along with his son Ashwatthama, would be on the outermost circle guarding the formation very tightly. The Kaurava army was ripping through the Pandava army, yet keeping their formation intact. Yudhishthira started to get concerned. There were only 4 people in this world who could break this Vyuha. It was Krishna, Arjuna, Krishna's son Pradyumna, and Arjuna's son Abhimanyu. Among these 4, only the young 16-year-old Abhimanyu was available on the battlefield for Yudhishthira at this time. He called this glorious child near him and asked him lovingly, "My child, we have a dire situation. A formidable Vyuha has been formed by the Kauravas. Your uncle and father are not here to help us. I do not like to put this responsibility on your tender shoulders, but I have to ask you, would you be able to break this Vyuha?" The already shiny eyes of Abhimanyu sparkled with excitement. He said, "That is like child's play for me. But the only problem is, once I go in, I have not learned how to come back out of it. I will be trapped among the enemies." Yudhishthira said, "Don't you worry at all, my child. I will be right behind you, along with Bhima, Nakula, Sahadeva, Satyaki, Dhrishtadyumna, the Kekaya brothers, the Panchalas, and the whole entire army. We will scatter them from inside and then you will not have to worry about exiting the Vyuha," he said. Abhimanyu was elated that this task had fallen on his shoulders. He said with excitement, "I will fight my best today. After today, everyone will have only admiration for me. I will make both the Kurus and the Vrishnis proud of me. My father Arjuna will be thrilled to hear about my valor. My mother Subhadra will be very happy to hear about my prowess. My uncle Krishna too will be very happy that he is my teacher. I will instill terror among the Kaurava warriors," he said bravely. Yudhishthira blessed his young nephew. Abhimanyu got into his chariot and started charging towards the Chakravyuha speedily. He was swift as a dart. He was showering a rain of arrows on anyone that came his way. The rest of the Pandava army were by his heels, moving very quickly. Within the blink of an eye, he had gone past Dronacharya. Dronacharya was very scared now. Since the Vyuha was broken, Drona was scared for Duryodhana. So he went in along with his son Ashwatthama. Abhimanyu's arrows were like fire darts. He had injured almost every Maharathi on the Kaurava army, including Drona, Duryodhana, Dushyasana, Karna, Kripacharya, Kritavarma, Ashwatthama, Dushyasana, and others. For a moment, Drona stood there admiring the valor of the son of his favorite student Arjuna. This obviously annoyed Duryodhana and he wanted to kill Abhimanyu. Dushyasana added, "If we kill this one person, both Krishna and Arjuna will be devastated. With them shattered, the Pandavas stand no chance against us. So let's just kill him." The Pandava army were following Abhimanyu very closely. When Abhimanyu broke one of the inner layers and entered inside, Jayadratha closed off the entrance to the Chakravyuha. His boon from Lord Shiva was coming to fruition. When the Pandavas were in the forest, Jayadratha had tried to kidnap Draupadi. The Pandavas had caught him and shamed him. So Jayadratha had done penance to Lord Shiva and received a boon that he would be able to stop the Pandavas one day when Krishna and Arjuna were not in the proximity. Today he was invincible. He assaulted them continuously. He made an airtight seal in the Chakravyuha and did not allow the army to go inside to help Abhimanyu. All the great warriors of the Pandava army were standing outside helplessly when young Abhimanyu was inside with his ruthless enemies. Yudhishthira was distressed. Inside, the valiant Abhimanyu was a whirlwind in the enemy camp. He had killed the sons of Shalya and Kritavarma. Then he killed Duryodhana's son Lakshana Kumara also. Duryodhana was devastated to see this. He said, "We have to kill this boy." 6 warriors together attacked young Abhimanyu. They were Drona, Kripa, Karna, Ashwatthama, Brihadbhala, the king of Kosalas, and Kritavarma of the Vrishnis. Yet Abhimanyu was unstoppable. Shalya joined them. With one piercing arrow, Abhimanyu killed Brihadbhala too. Shakuni said, "We cannot face this boy alone. Let us all kill him together." That is when the goriest of events happened. Radheya went behind Abhimanyu and broke his bow. There was no way he could have done this if Abhimanyu saw him coming. In the next instant, Drona killed the horses of his chariot. Kripacharya killed his charioteer. Drona also shattered his unpierceable armor with his arrows. The rest of them attacked together and sent piercing arrows to his body. He was left defenseless, helpless, without a chariot, weapons, horses, or a charioteer. He was completely exhausted, facing all of them single-handedly. Yet he bravely picked up the wheel of his chariot and wheeled it over his head. He said, "Come one by one, I can still defeat you." But they, together, broke that wheel into bits. That is when Dushyasana's son Dhrumasena hit a defenseless Abhimanyu in the head with his mace. Abhimanyu was killed. As if this dastardly act was not enough, the Kaurava Maharathis screamed in joy and danced around the body of young Abhimanyu in celebration. Yudhishthira, Bhima, Nakula, Sahadeva and the rest of them instantly knew that they had taken the life of young Abhimanyu. So what do we see in this sad story? What a brave boy young Abhimanyu was. The Kauravas had broken every rule of war to kill this child on the battlefield. They proved that they were the epitome of adharma. Also, what a stark difference between the behavior and attitude of Arjuna versus the Kaurava Maharathis. When Bhagadatta and his elephant died, for their nobility Arjuna had prostrated to them. But the Kauravas showed their demonic attitude by celebrating their unholy victory. With these thoughts, we come to the end of today's episode. Remember, in this series we are discussing matters of Mahabharata because even today, Mahabharata matters. Hari Om!